Before I start sharing my thoughts in this regard, one or two questions that I want to ask you. I think let the session be a little more interactive. I don't sort of feel very comfortable with people are sitting only listening to you, and they really have to be live and proactive and get involved in discussion. So this subject, I have one small difference with the subject called digital future. I would much rather look at the future which is more human imprinted. Digital is really very agnostic to the overall situation. I think we were human beings always, and we shall continue to be. Digitals will come and go and disappear, but I think human imprint is extremely important. Has anybody in this crowd heard about a gentleman called Angus Maddison? Anybody here? Angus Maddison was a quantitative macroeconomic philosopher's teacher and passed out from Cambridge University. He's a British economic historian. You see, this is what he said in one of his research of the economic growth across different continents through last few hundred years. He said that in 17th century, India's share of the global GDP was 27%. Can you imagine? 27% of the global GDP was with us in 17th century AD. And by the time the Englishmen left in 1950, it had plummeted down to 3%. Last few years, we've been trying to increase our share, but we haven't really done very greatly in that respect. From the peak of 27% to plummet down, come down to 3%. So we need to really examine what were we. एक ज़माने में हिंदुस्तान को सोने की चिड़िया कहा जाता था. तो और स्टार्टअप्स की जो भी बात हम लोग कर रहे हैं, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट ग्रोथ की बात कर रहे हैं, we really have to look at what is it that made India so wonderful, so great in the past, and not very distant past. Few hundred years in history of civilization, not very long. And when I sort of delve deeper into the economic platform that Angus Maddison was talking about, I discovered to my pleasant surprise that all the elements of economic development and growth were based entirely upon indigenous sources of resources, human resources, and man and material. Everything that got into the development engine, as it were, of the economic growth was all sourced internally from the country. Just look at the kind of, not merely the philosophical heritage this country has, look at the material heritage that we have. We haven't really even touched even a periphery of what we actually possess. All right, let me ask you one more question. Can you tell me what are the products worldwide, consumable products or otherwise, in which India is the largest producer in the world? Any product that comes to your mind? The largest producer. Yes, somebody is raising hand. उठ खड़े होइए. हाँ? मखाना. अच्छा. Okay. कुछ और कुछ? Anybody else? We're the largest producer of that particular product in the world. Yes, please come. Spices. Okay, that's one. Huh? I didn't hear this. Milk. Did you say doodh? I think, yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Let's applaud for this fellow. Do you know the percentage of the global production of milk in our country? The overall production at the global level that happens in the world, India has 22-23% of the global milk production in the world. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? Are you aware of it? These are the kind of the point that I'm trying to tell you is that when we start talking about the economic growth engines, we start talking about startups, we talk about economic growth, then we really have to look at the entire landscape of our country's resources, which have to be leveraged for a long-term sustainable basis of economic development and growth. So in 17th century, when we talked about 27% of the global GDP, all the products that we talked about were based or taken from within the country. Whether it is textile, whether it is spices, or whether it is the vegetable productions, the whole lot of stuff that we be talking about, handicrafts, handmade stuff, etc., and great amount of international trade that used to be rooted through India. That's what really made us economic powerhouse. Today, apart from the thing that some people have been talking about here, milk and makhana and vegetables, of course, let me also tell you that we are the largest producer of generic medicines in the world. You all have seen the example during COVID. India was a supplier of medicines to the entire world. Sponge iron. There are a whole lot of entire vegetables and spices and milk, of course. Now, the point that I'm trying to drive at, are we thinking in terms of leveraging all this huge amount of production base that we have to look at the possibility of giving a startup? Let's also look at the very skewed kind of economic parameters that we have in this country. Today, our GDP constitutes, like for any other country, 3 different components. We all know about that: agriculture, services, and industry. Over the last years, and I think this subject that we're talking about also talks in terms of further increasing that particular share. Service sector has been growing at an absolutely phenomenal pace, and we today have something like 60% of the overall. Agriculture is less than 20%, and the rest, of course, is industry. You see, any country cannot survive this kind of a skewed GDP. You really need products. You need manufacturing base. You need to pick up resources that actually belong to you, and take it to the next level. Just to give an example, 22% of global milk production, almost a quarter of it goes to waste. Why can't some of you young fellows use the technology, AI systems, and other kind of startup issues to make sure that you are able to utilize that kind of milk products and processed one and take to the next level and start earning huge amount of money? I mean, these are the areas. So what I'm trying to direct your attention to. Okay, let me just also talk about the demographic definition that we have. हमारे देश को 3 हिस्सों में हम लोग विभाजित कर सकते हैं. देश वही है, लेकिन नॉमेनक्लेचर के हिसाब से पहला नॉमेनक्लेचर तो है कि इंडिया. हम लोग सब इंडिया में हैं, दिल्ली में हैं, कलकत्ते में. We call ourselves Indians. The second level is Hindustani. People with middle level, mix of populations. Second 2 tier, 3 tiers. और तीसरा लेवल है भारतवर्ष, जो पूरे हमारे गांवों में, देहातों में फैला हुआ है. और आज भी 60-65% हमारी जनसंख्या जो है वो देहात में रहती है. और इस 65-70% का शेयर इकोनॉमिक जीडीपी के अंदर है केवल 17-18%. Now, so the first point which we really need to hit on, and this is where our latest technological innovations are, whether it's AI or whether all kind of tools, have to be really leveraged to make sure that at least we start creating some kind of a level playing field. 70% people living on only 18% of the total wealth in the country is not justifiable, not sustainable by any quarters. So we need to create wealth there. We need to develop wealth there. मुझे लगता है कि जितने आप सब लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं, जो हर साल 300-350 लोग आते हैं, सबको ये तलाश रहती है कि हमें दिल्ली, बम्बई, लखनऊ, कानपुर, यहाँ पे बेंगलोर में नौकरी मिल जाए. And we're very comfortable. Life is very good. We're getting that kind of 7-8 लाख और 10 लाख मिल रहा है. But that's not going to see the growth, neither in you nor in the country. I think जैसे डायरेक्टर साहब ने कहा, you need to take risks. You see, business or startup, for that matter, any business activity, if it does not take the risk-taking capacity, it is not possible for you to reach this, break the ceiling and go up to the next level. आपको करना पड़ेगा. I would be extremely delighted, and I think this is something that we all need to encourage. At least 5-6% of the total number that you have seriously starts thinking about starting a startup. And with all these things that we're talking about, the environment that you have created, and the, international institution, council, etc., all this innovation happening, I see no reason why some of you should be taking that responsibility of, and of course you have this great gentleman sitting here who can possibly be the source of mentoring you. I think we need to take that. We can't continue to stay in the same old pattern of जिम ज्वाइन करा है, 2 साल MBA करें, पढ़ाई लिखाई हुई, और उसके बाद नौकरी की तलाश करके rest of the time you spend all your life gradually growing. If you really want to be on a faster track, that's first. Second thing which I really want to emphasize upon is that please remember that all digital tools or innovative strategies that you're talking about, especially as a part of technological revolution, treat them only as tools. AI कोई हवा नहीं है. AI continues to be defined as artificial intelligence. It continues to be AI. It is there because you are there. The intelligence part has been supplied by you. Artificial structure has been created. So please don't forget that. So don't let it get the better of you. Because AI at the end of it all has no emotions. It has no feelings. And business world, growth, economic growth, person-to-person contact requires emotional connect, empathy. So therefore, use it as an accomplice, as a great efficient instrument for speedy implementation, giving efficiency, economies of scale. But please make sure that it remains by your side and doesn't go over your head. So you become completely dependent upon that. Please don't ever forget that. And also, any kind of an activity that you start, please make sure that 2 things are extremely important. And I'm sure Mr. Agrawal will speak about it in greater detail. We have a brief chat with him. Please remember that whatever you do, 2 things. You create value not only for yourself, but for others, for society. And make sure that when you create a value or wealth, you cause no collateral damage to the environment. ये हमारी धरती माता जो है कई वर्षों से तमाम तबाही सह चुकी है. We are again, I don't want to frighten you with the statistics. हमारे धरती के resources हैं, they're sufficient enough to sustain a population of 4 billion people. Today we are 8 billion people. And yet we keep on manipulating, keep on destroying the entire ecosystem. And I think we have started seeing. Can you imagine the month of May so pleasant? It never did. And that's going to reflect upon the monsoon. एक धरती तपती नहीं मई के महीने में तो बारिश ठीक से नहीं होगी. So these are kind of signs that we need to be careful about. You really have to make sure that you complete sensitivity towards environment. Because आपको एक बात चीज को कहते हैं कि हम लोग दुनिया में आते हैं. हम कहाँ से आते हैं? हम लोग कोई आसमान से चांद तारों से तो नहीं आते ना. हम लोग यहीं से आते हैं और यहीं चले जाते हैं. We come from this world and go back to this world. So इस जहाँ से हम आते हैं उसकी सुरक्षा, उसका सोर्स जो हमको प्राप्त होता है, उसको तो हम we should not be actually messing it up. And we've been doing that. So each one of you has a responsibility. Each one of you has a responsibility to make sure whatever you do, you add value, you create wealth, but not at the expense of the environment. That I think is extremely important for all of us to remember that. और यही चीज जो होगी लॉन्ग टर्म पे हमारी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ को सस्टेनेबल बनाएगी. एंड लास्ट पॉइंट, जो CSR एक्टिविटी को, you see, I've not seen, we often talk about my basic purpose is to make myself happy. That's the ultimate objective. We all want to become happy. That's the single purpose. But word की एक पूरी आपको पूरी एविडेंस अवेलेबल है. जो इंसान हमेशा इस प्रयास में लगा रहता है कि अपने आप को खुश करने के प्रयास में लगा रहता है, वो कभी खुश नहीं होता. It's on record. If you keep on trying to make yourself happy, only if you make others happy, you become happy. Please remember that. So therefore, whatever you're doing, please remember do it for others, and that becomes a sustainable one. Last one, use your capabilities. Let me just finish it with one Bhagavad Gita's verse, which I'm holding myself at what point of time I share with you, but that I can't resist the temptation now because it's a very profound one and very, very relevant here. Shreyan swadharmo viguno paradharmo swanishchitas swadharme nirdhanam shreyam paradharmo bhaya. You see, your own dharma, your own capacity, your own core competence is the only one which can take you to excellence level. What belongs to others will only be frightening. And unfortunately, because of colonial mindset, because of this wretched language called English, हम लोग इतने उसमें दब गए हैं, इतने उस प्रोसेस में अपने आप को हम लोग दबा लिया है कि हमारी अपनी जो ओरिजिनलिटी है, अपनी जो हमारा अस्तित्व है, उसको हम किसी ना किसी तरीके से भूल गए हैं. I'm not saying, I have nothing to say about technology, artificial intelligence, but I think knowledge part is so deeply, profoundly available in our country. And I think if we haven't been able to leverage it to the next possible, this is what we need to do. Look around what we have in our surroundings and see what best we can do. I think in every activity, there is a great opportunity for economic growth. You don't need to run to Boston or Stanford or Europe or to look for the kind of thoughts and ideas. Ideas are all lying all around us. It's only a question of looking at them closely and converting them into a very viable economic proposition, causing benefit to others, causing no collateral damage to anybody else. And I think that becomes a very sustainable. And I think this particular area, startup revolution can play important role. Start small. And validated by the actual availability of demands. Don't make very complicated projects. Look at the entire ecosystem and customize your areas in that particular. So I wish all of you a great future. Look at that. Look at the digital future, but also look at the human future. That's more important. And I think I hope this entire session today will emerge with fantastic ideas and great speakers to follow. I hope all of you stand to benefit. Thank you very much.